Welcome back to TRBusiness's Adapt and Survive Skype video interview series. I'm delighted to be joined this episode by a European powerhouse in the aviation sector, and that's Royal Schiphol Group, Schiphol Airport. Speaking to Tanja Dik, who's the Director of Consumer Products and Services. Tanja, great to see you. Difficult circumstances.
Great to see you too, although it's on Skype.
Oh, exactly. Tanja, my first question to you is, how are you coping at the moment with the situation? What does that look like at the moment in the Netherlands right now as restrictions begin to ease on daily life?
Well, of course, to be honest, it's taking much longer than I think we all expected. And so it's a severe period for everybody, for the airport, for all business partners. So, and also all the other people in each and every country. But we are picking up. We see lights in the end of the tunnel. Much more possible since the 1st of July. We are able to have much larger groups in meeting and have much more possibilities at our airport, in our food and beverage outlets, and also outside our airport, of course. I think it's a bit about the same in many European countries, that we step by step lifting the possibilities, although, well, of course, be very strict on the 1.5 meter, be strict on all the health and safety procedures we have in place to make sure that we don't fall back.
Just going back to Holland quickly and the government's response. I mean, they've been pursuing this intelligent lockdown now for a number of months. It was quite criticised originally when the announcements were made. Now, while the case count has been high in the Netherlands, the government's approach seems to have paid dividends insofar as it has managed to keep the mortality rate down from the virus. What's your take on this approach that the government has followed? Has it paid off, if you want to call it that?
It's so difficult. First of all, I'm happy I'm not in the governmental seat at the moment. It's such a difficult balancing act, because on one hand, we see everywhere in the rest of the world and within Europe that we need a lot of procedures to make sure that we keep mortality down because of COVID-19. On the other hand, of course, you see all the severe things around you, on businesses, on people, children, on all kind of other diseases coming up, not the possibility to go to the hospital. So every day you see the difficult balancing act between the necessary procedures and all the side effects. And still, I think that if we can keep the virus down as we managed to do today, I think that is in the end the only way going forward, and make sure that we, in our businesses, but in everybody else's businesses, we can make sure that for us it's a healthy, safe period going forward. And we need that safe period to pick up our lives again, and not only in businesses but also in general. And that's very, very important.
Indeed. Moving to the airport specifically, Tanja, it scaled back its operations in April. As we know, it only kept a handful of the Piers open, DEF, I believe, in service. Can you just briefly update us what the current operating situation is now for passenger traffic at the airport in light of the lifting of the EU travel restrictions that we've seen? What's the picture like at the moment?
Well, luckily we, as you said, we never really had to close down, which many airports had. So we always had a core Schiphol, lounge 1, lounge 2, and some of our piers were always open. And thanks to our business partners in food and beverage and retail, we could still service our passengers who were flying from and back and forth from Amsterdam Airport. And now with the next step in opening up the European Union, but also other countries more internationally, we opening up step by step as well. So actually we opened lounge 3 and 4 this week, and we open more and more piers as well. So we are almost up to total schedule on the number of square meters being available to our passengers, but of course not in the number of passengers flying from our airport, because that's still on a very, very low level.
That is the perpetual challenge, trying to raise the traffic numbers. In due course, we are all confident that that will happen. We've spoken at length, Tanja, in the past about the renovation projects going on, of which there are many at this time for Schiphol, gathering pace with intent. If we can talk about Piers D, F and G first, we spoke about them being renovated and in line with that, the shopping offer involving. Can you talk to us a little bit about the pier developments, either at those piers, but elsewhere that you've worked on to enhance the commercial experience?
Yeah, well, we were in the middle of a lot of renovations in our airport. And luckily, the Upgrade Piers, which is a very important program for upgrading the area where most of the passengers spend a lot of time before boarding. Most of the piers are ready, and we are almost up to 84 gates being upgraded, and the whole of the sitting area around it with all the food and beverage and retail possibilities we could create there. So actually we are in the last phase, and we will finish that this phase in the coming months according to schedule. As it's although of course we need to minimize the capex, not only for us but also for our business partners who are in a severe situation as well. We are able to finish this upgrade piers, as we are also finishing up our PRA.
And talk to us a little bit more about PRA. We know that the construction project continues. The airport made the announcement in the last few weeks on that, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us about how that's looking and indeed how it feeds in with the commercial plans, if you can.
Well, for us, it's very important that, of course, we have lower passenger levels the coming periods as everywhere else, but PRA is a very important asset to our airport. It's not only for to creating more room for our passengers, but it's also to create extra possibilities for new aircraft to come to our airport. So having better balance between the narrow bodies and the wide bodies. And of course, more wide bodies is a possibility to have more passengers, which is also, of course, commercially interesting if we have a pickup of passengers in the coming periods. And we are so already luckily far ahead with the building and renovation, the building of Pier A, that we will proceed doing so in the coming periods to make sure that it's ready when the passengers are back on track. Passenger numbers are back on track.
More generally, Tanja, how are you helping to support your concessionaire partners at this point in time, either through financial means or otherwise, but indeed through the protocols that Schiphol Airport have introduced on the health and safety side? Well,
the most important thing in this period is that we stick together very closely, make sure we understand each other's problems, and exchange information. So we need all the information in the market around us, what our business partners see happening in the shops when passengers are in our airport, to make sure that we are on top of what the passenger wants and make sure that they really, really feel at ease and feel safe and sound at our airport. And we have a lot of procedures and, of course, health protocols for that one. And together with our business partners, we create all the communication and all the procedures in place in each and every outlet. So that's very important because I think we all understand that the only way forward, if we have passengers and they feel enough at ease, that's the only way that they want to buy something in the shops and feel the freedom of shopping in at our airport and drinking and having a bite. Besides that, of course, financially, it's a disastrous episode now for everybody, for the airport, but of course for each and every business partner attached to our airport and outside the airport. Luckily, in Holland, the government is supporting the companies very well of course, it's not enough to keep up all the problems which are being faced by each and every business partner, but they do support us in a very productive way, like waiving, helping in personal costs, waiving a few months in VAT payments, which really helps business for the current periods. Of course, we don't know for how long this will help the companies to cope with this issue, because of course also bankruptcies are present in the Netherlands, and can also hit our airport and our stakeholders. So as an airport, we also being hit very hard, so we can only make very tiny little steps as an airport ourselves. But we did so by extending payment periods for our business partners. And if we can do any other tiny step, of course, we will do so, next to what the government is doing for our business partners.
And just a final question. Europe's opening up its borders all the time at the moment. We've heard the good news of late, and indeed we're expecting more and more non-EU destinations to come on board from airports and across the European aviation ecosystem. For Schiphol Airport, what really are your priorities for the coming months in terms of optimizing the commercial opportunity as we move into July and beyond?
Well, we see, of course, everywhere that the Maslow pyramid changed dramatically, because I think it's all about health and safety first, and then the rest is coming. But of course, if you are traveling, you still want to make sure that it's okay to travel, and you are totally sure what to expect if you come to an airport. So of course, our first priority is make sure that we communicate this very, very well, make films, make sure that we in each and every platform, we luckily introduced WeChat before COVID-19. It's already very helpful platform for all our Chinese passengers. But also today, of course, it's very helpful to inform them on what is happening on our airport, how they can travel to our airport, what we have in place. And of course, also already inform them on all the different beautiful products we have in our shopping areas. And we have the possibilities to use WeChat on different levels, but also each and every other platform, together with our business partners, together with all tour operators. We make sure that we, first of all, inform our passengers on their health and safety procedures and possibilities, and then make sure that they feel that they can be at ease. And there's also today still a lot of experience and to shop at our airport when they come to us.
And I'm sure passengers and businesses alike will be supporting you firmly in those endeavours in the months and years to come. Tanja,
Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, and hopefully catch up very, very soon. Thank you.
Yes, hopefully we can catch up live and have a less virus-full environment.
That's the aim. I look forward to it. Thanks, Tanja.